Hello, welcome to the Secrets of Wall Street. My name is Jose, and today we're going to be talking about the CPI report that came out. And I think it's a very interesting set of data that we have. And we're pretty much at a tipping point as far as what direction we're going to be going to. So we're going to be talking about that, analyzing that, and what to expect for tomorrow, because tomorrow Jerome Powell is going to be talking. So that's what's going to be on the topic for today, and let's get to it. But as always, before that, if you could hit like, subscribe, I would really appreciate that. That would really help out the channel, and this way you could keep getting content like this on the channel. Let's pivot here, and we're gonna look at the 12-month graph for the CPI. For those that don't know, CPI is basically what measures of cost for consumers at very different metrics. One of the most important is food and gas, and these are the most important measures as far as like the economy, because basically this is what drives spending and how people can spend their money. So if we look here at this last report, we're gonna see that the highest that it was at 9.1, and ever since then it's been dropping considerably. And this last one was pretty much a big surprise, because the expectation was that this report was going to come out at 7.3, but it came at 7.1, which is very, very good. So we have 2 consecutive months of negative inflation, which means that it's dropping. And obviously 7.1 is still a very high number. So that's what you really have to factor in the grand scheme of things, is that even though that inflation is dropping, 7.1 is still a very, very big number, which means that the Federal Reserve still has a long way to go. So we have to analyze what's going to happen tomorrow. Jerome Powell is going to speak, and when he speaks, it's going to affect the markets in a very big way. But before that, let's just take a look at the chart of SPY. So today with the CPI report, if you take a look here, this basically was what happened pre-market when the report came out. So SPY was at 401, and it hit a high of around 410. I remember seeing like around 410, but it actually hit a high of 413, and that's a very big jump. So that's very, very good. Obviously, such a big jump like that, for me was a really red flag, because I really don't expect the markets to jump that high and stay consistently like that. Usually there is some sell-offs with that, and unfortunately for me, I was coming from my trip, which is why I haven't been making videos for the last few days. But when I came from my trip this morning, I saw that and I said, hey, maybe I should buy some puts, because I do expect some sort of sell-off. And it really did happen. So throughout the day, as soon as the market opened, it was around 411, and the low point was 399. It bounced a bit to a high of 401, and that's a pretty big drop. So if you were looking at some puts in the morning, believe me, you made out like a bandit, because such a better opportunity like this wouldn't have arrived. And now, there is opportunity for this to happen again tomorrow. We have to see what the market sentiment is. Lately, it's been very, very bullish. A lot of people are expecting that Powell is going to start slowing down his rate of the increase in interest rates. So if you're looking for an increase of interest rate of just 0.50 basis points, that is very, very good for the market, because that means that now he's going to be slowing down. Now, what is my expectation? I kind of feel like he probably will still do a 0.75 basis point hike. But he did sound more dovish in his last conference. So again, Powell is not going to pivot from what the market is pricing in, and the market right now is pricing in a 0.50 basis point hike. So most likely that is what's going to happen, and that's pretty good news. But the market is expecting that. So here's the two scenarios that are going to play out. 0.50 basis point hike is pretty much what's in line, and that most likely means that the markets are going to go up, because they like that finally Powell is starting to pivot on what he had mentioned before, that he was going to keep interest rates high. Two, he decides to stay the course and he decides that he's going to do a 75-point basis rate hike, and the markets will not like this and the markets will go down. So those are the two scenarios to play out. But again, you really, if you really want to play, and my recommendation if you're going to be playing, maybe some SPY options would be a good bet, is to see how the market plays out throughout the day prior to the 2 p.m. meeting. Most likely what's going to happen is that you're going to see a run up from the morning leading up to the meeting. And once Powell starts speaking, most likely you'll see either the market reaction, if it's positive, then start running up even more. If it's negative, then the markets will start going down. Again, that's my expectation for tomorrow. Most likely that's how I'm going to play it. We'll see what happens. Again, very interesting stuff that is going to happen tomorrow, and Powell is going to be front and center of this. The meeting's at 2 p.m. So if you're looking for anything prior to that, make sure that you make your calls and just stick to it, because most likely whatever happens is going to affect the market violently, which means that's very good for options if you're playing options. So that's what I have for today. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down there. I always love a good chat, and I always love to hear what you guys have to say. So thank you.